Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Allie and I am a domestic wannabe. I am a stay-at-home working mom just striving to declutter my home so everyday domestic tasks like making dinner are easier. This year I have added a huge focus of meal planning and meal prepping to my wannabe goals. And even though I love cooking new recipes and trying new things to spice things up and to keep me engaged in cooking every single day of the week, I do have those nights I have to have something easy, and that is an easy taco night dinner. So this video is starting off with a simple taco night. And some of the things I like to do for my tacos is I do love refried beans, but I like adding enchilada sauce to them. I just think it adds a bit of flavor, and I like that texture a little bit better. And to the meat, I like to add onion after I've cooked it through and let the onion cook in after. I don't know why, it just seems to work better for me in regards to getting rid of that fat. And then we top it with some fresh tomato and fresh onion, as well as other taco toppings. I particularly need black olives. It's my favorite. So then, of course, life always has to have some cleaning in it. And I did a little different cleaning routine on my bathrooms where I really was allowing everything to get sanitized and cleaned. So I would spray down the toilet, put the toilet cleaner in the bowl, and then I walk away for 10 minutes to do a different cleaning area. And you're also going to see in the next video where we have more stuff on the counter, I worked in sections thinking it would really be helpful. And, you know, it turned out this just kind of took me just as long, if not longer, to get everything cleaned. So what I normally like to do is get everything sprayed down and like the cleaning solution in there if it has to be sitting for the 10 minutes to sanitize. And then clean something else, but it was just a different kind of day. Now, we ran the jets recently for my son. He loves when the jets go on, but when they do, it makes a total mess in the jacuzzi tub. So I knew I needed to tackle that and get that all cleaned out because it's so gross seeing all those little flecks in there. And I have cleaned the jets out. They just don't seem to stay clean. I don't love them. Anyway, you'll see here, this is where I move stuff from one side to the other side, sanitize. So this really took like 20 minutes just to clean that cabinet. So it really wasn't a great use of my time, but I'm all for trying some new methods and seeing what works and what doesn't. And this method did not work for me because it just took a lot longer than it normally would. So we have really hard water, as you can tell, and even with a newer softener, this tub actually, if we don't turn off the direct water supply to it, it will leak. So once we learned we could turn that water supply off, things have gotten much better, but occasionally it does still drip, and then I'm left with this staining. So at one time, this tub was covered in that kind of staining, and it was never used by us until I was able to figure out how to get it cleaned out. I love Barkeeper's Friend for this kind of job to get rid of these stains. Normally, I would like to use a different kind of sponge, but I was using a mitt that had a scrubber side, and I have to say I put a lot more elbow grease into this project than I have in the past. So I would just use, I like Scrub Daddy for this kind of tool, or this kind of job, and it just seems to work a little bit faster than what I did here. And I should have realized it, but apparently I did not. So now that side of my sink had sat for 10 minutes. I was able to put everything back and move on to the other side. Again, just not a great use of my time. And I've learned my lesson, and I will just continue to move everything off the counter the next time I clean. Added some hydrogen peroxide to our toothbrush holders or chargers. It works miracles at getting all of that gunk that sits at the bottom of those chargers off. So you may notice this pillow that I just put on the bed. This pillow has been with me for quite a while. And if you watched my bedroom deep clean video, then you know it's been hard for me to find a pillow. I love this pillow. I've loved it since the day I've had it, and I cannot find the brand that made the pillow no longer makes this pillow. So I bought different pillows from them, and they just haven't worked out. So I did find a feather pillow that it turns out I can sleep well with and I like. So it was time for my old pillow to be thrown away. And I was going to do like a cleaning video to clean the pillow, but it had to be thrown. That pillow was way past its prime. After looking into how long you should keep a pillow, I overdid it. Anyway, if you watched my recent playroom video, you saw that I moved a lot of clothes out of that playroom closet when we put the new shelving unit in. Well, they went and sat in my son's bedroom because he doesn't really use his bedroom much. And I thought, I've been holding on to these clothes, and as I sat down to look at them, my decluttering kicked in and I got rid of every single piece. These clothes don't fit me great, and it was time for them to go. Now, funny story about these skirts. They did fit, but I went on a trip with my old company to Cancun, and I packed all these great summer clothes. And when I got there, when I went to put together outfits, I packed a ton of great separates and all those patterned skirts that you saw. I packed nothing that was not a patterned top. So I looked so silly. To this day, we joke about how I just clearly don't know how to pack for things because I had no matching coordinated outfits. I really just kind of looked like a mishmash of pool attire. And I still giggle about that. But, I had a great time. So it's all good. Anyway, that whole pile I had sitting on my son's floor for a week or two, and I donated the whole thing. I did not hold on to anything. I just donated the whole thing. The bag went into my husband's car, and he took it to a donation center for me. So I know many of you are probably clapping for me right now if you've been watching for a while, and I am patting myself on the back. So that leads me to a simple, easy dinner that is not tacos. And this is a butter herbed chicken. Now, I'm not going to say this is the most healthy of dinners, but it sure was tasty. It just involves a lot of butter. So if you were watching what you're eating in regards to butter, this one probably isn't a recipe you'll want to create right on, but you could easily switch out the butter for some extra virgin olive oil or a healthy oil that you like and still get really a same effect. So these are chicken thighs, and then I got pre-washed tiny potatoes because I know they cook a little quicker and I really enjoy them. So I salted and peppered them, and then you smear some softened butter into them, and they are going to go in the oven and kind of do a first cook, so they kind of get cooked, and then we're going to add the chicken. So that gives you time to prep the chicken. And if you thought I just used a lot of butter, there's more butter coming. This is not a weekly dish in our house. It was one of those recipes I wanted to try. Glad I did, but not on the healthy side, so it's not going to make its appearance on a regular basis for us. So to the butter, I'm adding fresh herbs and salt and pepper and lemon zest. And you'll see that coming up. And then all that butter is going to get smeared all over those chicken thighs. And the chicken thighs turned out so good. The one thing I would change with this recipe, which I will link below, I will link the recipe. I would actually air fry the chicken breasts as opposed to baking them. If I'm going to have chicken thighs, I want the skin to just be a little bit crispier. I peel the skin off anyway, but I just feel like it just gives having crispier skin gives the chicken a different flavor. So I would air fry the chicken breasts as opposed to baking them because that skin was just a little bit not crispy. And I like it crispy. So That is one of the other things I would change with this one. And I'd find another way to maybe marinate it in a garlic extra virgin olive oil as opposed to using all this butter. But I tell you, if you're looking for a really rich dinner, this is spot on. It's delicious and was also very easy to pull together. Would it be a domestic wannabe video if I didn't show myself doing dishes and getting that sink shiny? Now, if you have been following me for a while, you know that a lot of my content started with following the Fly Lady, and one of her main routines that she says get it down is to have a shiny sink before you go to bed. And I am going to say I have fallen in love with that. Do I always do it? No, because I'm a wannabe. But when I do, man, I feel on top of the world the next morning. So I highly recommend while your dinner is cooking, take the time to get everything in the sink and get those dishes ready to go and shine that sink. And just like that, dinner was ready. I always like to double check the temperature of chicken, especially. So I gave that all of those chicken thighs a good test. And then it was time to dish up for everybody. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope that you, if you're new here, you hit that subscribe button and stick around. I have a lot of new content coming up, and I'm really excited to share some new things with you all. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.